And we're live. Oh my God, we're live, Gil. Yeah, can you believe it? We're both on Zoom and on Facebook Live. Welcome, Gil.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for joining us. Yes. I mean, you are the master of masterminds and networking, facilitation of connections. So should I just, hand the stage to you and you can, do whatever you want, shape this conversation the way you want?
Sure, of course. So
yours.
First of all, thank you, Jessica, for what you do. What I'd love to suggest is any of you right now who are watching this on Facebook, if you're interested in jumping in on the Zoom with us, just ask Jessica and her team. They'll get you the link so you can actually come and I can see your face and I can see your smile, just like all these other lovely people that I see smiling. Yeah, I need you to smile back at me. If I'm saying, yeah, exactly, smile back at me. So to me, this is the simple actions of starting to network with someone, looking at them, admiring them, respecting them without even knowing them. And this is something that we could do using social media. And social media is definitely one tool. And we could do that by sharing our energy the way Jessica does in such an incredible way, and the way she just shares and she's out there. And when I told Jessica, and I even tell Jessica, I mentioned in the group that I'm heading to Switzerland, Davos for the first time, within minutes, she was already introducing me to people and adding value and just sharing her love and her energy. To me, this is a person who is in the constant process of mastering their mind. And I believe the way to master a mind is not to use it too much. The way to master a mind is be able to not need to use it actively, but to just have the answers when we need them. A real mastermind is able to call a person in 10 seconds and get the answer they need in less than a minute. Someone who doesn't use their mind wisely will spend hours trying to figure it out themselves, not understanding that the power of our mind is really to open up our hearts to others. And I really think that is the power of a really strong mind, is to be able to open up our hearts to others, make connections, build relationships. And whenever the mind needs an answer, you don't have to think about it yourself. You can either go to Google if you really, really want to, or you can call someone. You can say, hey, I'm heading out to this city, or I need to find this solution. I'm looking to, exit my company, or I'm looking to raise some funds into the company, or currently hiring an assistant. Can you give me some advice? Boom. Yeah, you could do it on Google, but it's not the same as asking someone you know and trust to give you some advice in a specific direction that gives you clarity. And for me, this is one of the most beautiful aspects of masterminding. And Jessica, what I'm going to ask you to do is wherever you're live right now, if it's on Facebook, first of all, I'm going to ask my team, also Vita, especially yourself, go in there and engage with people and get some questions from people, because my objective is not to just talk and whatever I think is important for you, but I'm trying to talk in a direction that I believe Jessica's community really wants to flourish right now. And these are pieces of the puzzle that they might need. So this is my objective today, to give you some pieces of the puzzle that maybe your mind currently doesn't already have, which I believe is why I like to go to mastermind events, or why I like to host mastermind events, because my mind, even though scientists will say is infinite, we don't understand how much our mind can really do. However, as humans, we tend to kind of limit the way our minds are, which means I don't have every answer and every solution in my mind at any given point. I'm not a superhuman yet. Working on it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm working on it. But what I do have is the ability to bring people together. And when you bring people together and you're able to activate the collective genius, what happens then is you then have maybe 7 to 9 people in a room together. And if you're following some kind of an algorithm, if you're following a formula for success, if you're following an algorithm for connection, what happens, the collective genius comes together, it gets activated, and then your mind starts getting new ideas, new answers, new methodologies, new hacks that your mind did not have before. And this is really important. I see beautiful people joining us here on Zoom. We want a few more people to join on Zoom. If you're on Facebook, have fun on Facebook, no problem. Carrie, what's going on? Miss you, love you, giving you a big hug from Bali around the corner. But if you're on Facebook, you could stay on Facebook if you want. It's cool. but you will not be able to be as interactive with us as one might. So if I just step back for a moment, assuming that some of you might not even know, the real function of a mastermind or where masterminds really started. Many will say mastermind started when Napoleon Hill was talking about the power of the collective. Napoleon Hill, in his book, Think and Grow Rich, #1 business book in the world, has spoken a lot about the triangle, the two coming together. When two come together, a third gets created. Now, put Napoleon Hill aside for a second. I've been studying karmic management with Geshe Michael Roach. When in my studies, I'm studying to have a PhD in human networking. One day, I'm not really worried. I don't need a degree. It's just cool to study with the greatest humans alive. One of them is Geshe Michael Roach, who wrote the book about karmic management. Simple book, nice book. He's written many, many books. Genius guy, American guy who lived in Tibet and learned how to became a Geshe for 25 years. And one of the most beautiful things he says about planting seeds in relationships, when two people come together, a seed, a third, gets planted. Consider this: when you meet a friend or when you meet a potential lover, you either are in a relationship where you want to serve each other, you want to have a better relationship, you spend time together, you have experiences together, you eat together, you laugh together, you cry together. What you're actually doing is you're nourishing the relationship. The relationship is not you or you. The relationship is the two or the more together. That is the relationship. Geshe Michael Roach spoke a lot about it from a position of karma. If you do good for another, what happens is the actual seed that you have planted with that relation starts growing. And maybe down the line, not today, but maybe down the line, that plant will grow and become a beautiful tree in your beautiful forest or your beautiful heavenly garden. And you can go into your garden and start picking from the fruits that are ripe to eat. What does that mean? You've done enough for this relationship. You have served this relationship. You've added value to this relationship. You've introduced them. You've recommended a book. You invited them to an event. You did something for them, not with a thinking of, okay, it's been 5 days. Okay, karma, let's go karma. I want something. I want my ROI. It doesn't work that way. We all know this. Now, if you're in very special places like Bali, I believe I'm currently in Bali. Welcome to Bali, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in a place like Bali, sometimes, and this is not a joke, you will see the ROI of karma working very quickly. Maybe some of you are also spiritual a little bit and you believe in karma and you believe that what goes around comes around, and you believe that if you really do good, you will have a lot of good things coming to you. I don't do good because I'm expecting good. I do good because it's easy, because it's fun, because I enjoy it, because I love it, and because I want others and I need others to do good for me. I don't want the world to do bad to me. Why? I catch myself thinking bad thoughts. I catch myself wanting to, scream at that driver who's just standing there and honking. I'm like, come on, Ace. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe he's frustrated. Maybe he's had a bad morning with his wife. Let me not get upset with him. There's no need to get upset. Let me turn on my sympathy with him. And to me, all of this kind of brings together this idea of masterminds, people coming together to serve each other, to look to plant seeds within relationships that could grow. When you plant a relationship with a new person, they can grow to become a friend, a mentor, a strategic partner, a potential employee, a potential investor, a client. They can grow to become anything. They can also grow to just become a muse. They can grow to become an inspiration, or they can grow and then you can leave them in the garden. Not all seeds that you have planted do you need to give nourishment to, which is also a massive benefit of masterminds, because in masterminds, you're in a group of people. You're in a group of, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, depending on the mastermind you're running and the timing that you have. But let's just say you have a beautiful group of 7 people, a very powerful number for a mastermind. If you have a group of 7 people and 1 or 2 of them is not adding a lot of value to you, that's okay. You still have another 5, no problem. It's wonderful. That's why it's the collective. When you are networking in life and managing relationships, that takes a lot more energy from us. That takes a lot more time from us, because we are managing relationships individually, one by one. We need to sit with this person for coffee, and this person needs some advice, and this person needs our help, and this person needs our solution, and that person needs our money. And a lot of individual people take up our time, which is okay. You know, I'm a father of 3 kids, and I'm a philanthropist that's helping multiple projects around Bali here where I live. And I'm a loving husband who loves sitting with his wife and helping her in whatever she's working on. And, you know, I'm a mentor for many, many companies around the world that I don't get any money from that. I just get amazing experience and positive energy. And I'm a coach for some incredible people around the world, especially entrepreneurs, or, you know, people who are now developing their entrepreneurial spirit. Is someone I love working with. And there are so many things that I do, but I would not be able to do it if I did all of them one by one. That's why the collective is powerful. Now, when you're looking at masterminds, there's currently, from what we've last counted, a little bit more than 7,000 active masterminds around the world. I would highly recommend joining a couple of masterminds before you actually start your own. It's such a big mistake of everyone saying to me, Gil, I want to launch my mastermind. Can you help me launch it? And I'm like, yes, of course. I've helped hundreds of people to launch masterminds around the world. I've launched more than 20 very successful masterminds myself. And it's not about launching it fast and making fast money, but it's about having something that's going to give you a wow effect. It's just going to make you say, wow, look what I created. I brought these people together. They're all strangers. And look, after a couple of sessions, we're talking about friendships. They're being vulnerable. They cry in front of each other. They meet up even without you. That is a powerful mastermind. Like, my wife has a mastermind for Russian speaking women. My wife is from Russia. I met her when I was living in Moscow for many years. And after many years of us being in business together, she finally last year started launching her own masterminds, because, you know, she's been in my life for so many years and she's been seeing me doing them, and she's been interacting in my mastermind, but finally she decided to launch her own mastermind. Now, she went very deep. She went after women only. She went after women who speak Russian, like her, and she went after women who are powerful in business and want more harmony in everything they do. So they went very, very specific with women who already are maybe mothers, and they're philanthropists, and they're wives and businesswomen and mentors, and they're doing so much, but they still want to have time and harmony to do singing classes or painting classes or go to yoga, or have harmony. That's kind of her target audience. Now, what I love about that is that they went super specific with who they want, which is what you should consider when you're looking at masterminds. You know, be super specific. What kind of people do I really need to build relationships right now? The most common mistakes people do is to say, oh, I want to be in a mastermind where the people in the mastermind are my potential clients. This is the most common mistakes. People are going into a mastermind and selling themselves. Big mistake. Don't do that. Go into a mastermind and serve. Don't sell your services. Show off your services. Show them off. Show people your brand. Show people how amazing you are. Talk to people about your case studies. Talk to people about your successful clients. Talk to people about what you do. Don't tell people what you do. Talk to them about it and excite them. You know, be excited about them. Show excitement and interest for what they do. I love activating the curious mindset. I know Jessica is a super curious person. She asks so many incredible questions. Jessica, in a few moments, I will ask you to take over the microphone and engage the audience and get questions out of them, because I can speak about masterminds in very deep levels of why get into masterminds and why do we need to structure them and how to identify the right mastermind for you that will really help co-elevate where you are. It will help take you to the next level in your life and in your business. I can also talk about the superficial and commercial sides of masterminds, that people join masterminds to build confidence and to make more money. And people join masterminds because they want to be invited to the best events in the world, and they want to be invited to the private jets, and they want to be invited to those kind of events. And joining the right masterminds will get you invites to the Saint-Tropez events and all the Davos events, and I'll invite you to the biggest Sotheby events in London, and you'll be invited to those kind of places if you join the right masterminds. Yeah. Or of course, I could take you in a direction of how to launch your own mastermind and why to launch your own mastermind. So Jessica, let's take it wherever you want to take it, because masterminds is something I've been studying for years. And it's not Napoleon Hill, ladies and gentlemen, that spoke about masterminds first. It's not. It's actually, masterminds have been going back to the cavemen from what I have researched. And when I'm talking about the cavemen, I'm talking about research of people sitting around a fire. And, maybe in the caveman times, I don't know what language they spoke back then, but there was some level of harmony in the way they sat around the fire, and something happened. Someone told a story, someone listened. And if you come back to recent years, if you look at the Native Indians that sat around the fire with what they call the smoking pipe. And the reason I studied the Native Indians is to understand that they used algorithms to mastermind. They used time without having a watch. They didn't have an iPhone in front of them with a clock going down. What they had was a smoke coming out of the pipe. And there's a lot of depth to that, to someone handing you a pipe. I don't know what's inside the pipe, no comment, smoking it, and then putting it down and seeing the smoke coming out. And they had a specific length of time to speak. And when that was done, they passed it on to the second person. Now, in all religions and in all cultures, there's algorithms that you can find in books and in stories, how people sat around the table, or they sat around the fire, something round. There was always a number of people, like 7, 8, 9, never 50 people sitting around one circle, and never just 2 people. 2 people is nice, but it's not a mastermind. It's more of a sharing session, which is an important algorithm of masterminds. But what was amazing is to see how, hey, if we've been taught this in all cultures, and all civilizations have been using algorithms to connect deeper, to build stronger networks, to get answers, to get insights, to get new opportunities brought to them. Why have we not been taught this in school? Why have we not been taught networking in school? How to build relationships, how to build friendships? Why have we not been taught effective communication for kids? I'm not talking about effective communication for adults at university. It's already too late. We're already messed up. Why are my kids are 6, 4, and 2. I don't know how many of you have kids, think about it. Are your kids being taught how to network, how to make friends? Networking is not exchanging business cards at a random event that's loud, full of people smoking and screaming and selling themselves. Networking is something you do every day. You do stuff you meet people, you connect with people, you build relationships, you choose to be curious. You choose to like them or dislike them in your head. Networking starts in your mind. You choose to follow up or not. A mastermind is just a network that's in harmony. That's why I love mastermind. Ask me some questions, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know who's active on Facebook, because I cannot see Facebook right now, but Vita, I'm going to ask you to be active on Facebook. And Vita, maybe you can even share Jessica's live stream on Facebook onto my Facebook. I think that's possible. I don't do that myself, but you know how to do that. Jessica, let's engage the friends on Facebook. Let's engage the wonderful people we have here on Zoom with us. And if anyone has any specific questions, they can put it into the chat. So Jessica, you choose how to get them more engaged and how I can further serve.
Absolutely, Gil. But first of all, let me say thank you for these amazing introductions. And dears, you have noticed that Gil is not only a mastermind expert and a networking mastery mentor, but also an amazing public speaker with speaking engagements all over the world. And on the biggest stages, he's shared the stage with the biggest people in many industries, for example, Tony Robbins as well. And actually, Gil is friends with Tony Robbins. So we're really lucky.
I can't say friends, but I have been to his house, and I can't call him in the middle of the night yet, not yet. I can call you, Jessica, in the middle of the night, but Tony has hugged me many times. We know each other very well. I've been to his house. We've had a one-on-one. He's an amazing mentor, and I look up to him a lot.
Yeah, this is
I'd
amazing.
like to call him a friend one day.
Yeah, let us know when it's the case, and I'm sure that it will happen soon. All right, but thank you so much, Gil, for this amazing introduction. Now, before we get started with questions, I just wanted to let you know that we have people here from all over the world, from multiple time zones. Only the Americans are not here because they're sleeping right now. Otherwise, we have all possible time zones. Actually, we do have some from America in a way. We have Hawaii. We have Hawaii, where it's nearly midnight. We have multiple people in Switzerland. We have Kerry in Australia as well. So this is really a global session. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Now, I would say that, friends, you can write your questions in the comment section. of Zoom or on Facebook as well, but you can also raise your hand. So I'll give you a few seconds to raise your hand, but I know, Gil, in the meantime, that Cornelia already has a few questions, so we could start with her. What do you think? I'm going to spotlight
Sounds
her.
good. Yeah, of course.
Welcome, Cornelia.
Hi, Jessica, and hi, Gil. Very fascinating to listen to you, as Jessica said. And I posted my questions already in the Facebook group, because I thought I couldn't participate, but now because I'm at the conference, but now we're having a break here, so I thought I'd jump on the call.
Beautiful, thank you.
Yeah, really, I'm glad I'm here live. So
tell me your question.
I can't remember all of them, but I think the first one is, because I spoke with Jessica about it, is the length of a mastermind, because you said, it's a deep dive, and I was just wondering, what would you say is like the minimum or maximum length?
You know what? It's such a cool question. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I've ran many one-day masterminds. I do them every month. I love them. Jessica was on with us a couple of times. I love running one-day. They're just an introduction. People get the mastermind, they get to do one session, they get insights, they get results, they get answers for what they need, they get some new connections, they love it, they move on. We've done 1 week masterminds on boats. Right before COVID, I took 35 sailing boats in Italy, and we took 250 entrepreneurs. We went sailing for 7 days. Every single morning, we had an interactive workshop in the morning in a different base. Every single afternoon, we went sailing together, and they're all strangers to each other, building bonds on every boat, learning how to support each other, learning how to sail. And every evening, we found a different restaurant. We took over the whole restaurant, put them in round tables and mastermind. And it was really, really powerful. That 7 days, friendships were created. Millions and millions of dollars of deals were actually closed that week because the bond was solid. So you could do retreats in a mastermind format. You could also do 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months mastermind. There isn't the perfect formula for the one mastermind. There isn't. It's like you would tell me, like, hey, Gil, what's the best outfit to wear to my friend's wedding? I'm like, I don't know your friend. I don't know the colors. It's like such a question that's so open. What I would say, start easy. Don't do 12 months. Like, that's just like, why? It's like you're complicating it too much. Start with a 3-month mastermind. That's easy, nice, fun. You can enjoy it a lot. You can even play around with a 7-day mastermind, and you could do that completely online. You say, hey, every single day for the next 7 days, we get together online for 4 hours. We get together on Zoom. These are the rules. We keep our cameras on. This is the agenda. This is the visiting speakers. This is the format in which we mastermind themselves. And let's have some fun with it. There isn't something perfect. I would say keep it simple in the beginning so you can get it right and you could learn from your experience. My first mastermind, I only charged like $5,000, and was a 12-month mastermind. But that $5,000, I gave them so much. We had a dinner at a different restaurant every single month that I paid for, very high-level dinners. I gave them coaching for every single one of them every single month. So that took a lot of my time. And I had visiting experts showing up every second week online. It was like before Zoom, it was in a different, I don't know what software it was. And I realized that was me giving too much. I was like giving too much. And my next mastermind, I didn't do dinners every month. I did dinners every second month. So every second month, it was one online, one offline, online, offline. And then the third mastermind, I didn't pay for dinners anymore. I was like, hey, you guys can order whatever you want. You pay for your own dinner. Like, why do I need to order your food? I don't know what you want to eat, Actually, funny enough, I went back to paying for their food because I learned that them ordering food took too much time. It actually wasted my time, and my time was more valuable. So I tried them ordering food, but then I realized, you know what? Let me just charge them more money. So I just went up to like $15,000. Yes, I have a budget. I'll pay them for the most beautiful gourmet buffet ever. Like, wow, 7-star buffet. And that's what I did. It was easier for me to manage and just allow them space to connect. So Coca, you need to kind of decide, what am I trying to achieve? What's the goal of this mastermind I want to launch? And can I maybe experience a couple of masterminds myself before I launch my own?
Thank you so much. And as a follow-up, I've been, not that many masterminds, but I have been, and there it was kind of all the, they have all, their homeworks and everything was done with spreadsheets and was very tracked and so, I'm more working with energy. So I was planning on showing more exercises and so how can I track that people, that people keep going and I can support them the best way?
Yeah, so there's easy ways and hard ways of doing it. The hard way is you tracking everything yourself. I don't suggest it. The easy way that I like the most, either you hire someone, you hire like a mastermind coordinator as your team, and they could be a virtual assistant that works with you only a few hours a week or a few hours a month. It doesn't have to be a full-time person. And their job is to just track people doing their activities and to follow up with them, to keep them accountable. The other thing that's really worked out for us is to do what we called triangles or circles of trust. My wife turned into triangles because she wanted to do 3 women. I created circles of trust. Circles of trust were also 3 people. And the circles of trust is basically people that we grouped together from within the mastermind, and they would need to get on a call themselves every week and keep each other accountable. I didn't personally, Coca, I didn't want to do homework. I'm not a teacher like that. I have no interest in, you don't want to do your homework, don't do your homework. I'm not your dad. I cannot guarantee you achieving your goals in life if you don't take 3 steps. If you only take 1 step and then take 5 steps backwards, we can help you, we can guide you, we can serve you, we can support you. But I don't want to be that person that says, hey, you didn't do your homework, you're out of the program. It's like, hey, you didn't do your homework, maybe someone is going through a divorce. Maybe their kids are having a tough time in school. Maybe they're being completely overwhelmed at work. I can't judge them for it. So that's why for me personally, I never really gave homework. I gave a lot of fun exercises. So I gave different tips and hacks for things that you should try out to test it out and tell us how it went. Kind of, it was a lot more exciting. Hey, go talk to 5 strangers and say X, Y, and Z, or walk up to, identify 3 masterminds that are right for you and try to be invited to one of their events completely free of charge to see if you like it. It's just a challenge. Just see, if you don't do it, don't do it. I don't care. Yeah, it's not my world. I can only suggest to you what to do because I have algorithms and systems and strategies that have proven successful for many. So I can only share those with you, but it's really up to you if you want to take action. Thank you for that question, Coco. By the way, was that helpful for other people? Even on Facebook or on Zoom, give me some thumbs up, say yes, shake your head. Yeah, something beautiful.
For me, it was very helpful. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Very helpful.
With pleasure.
Thank you.
With pleasure. That's why I'm here today.
That is great. So let's bring Gil, Jerilyn in the spotlight. Okay, what did I do? Sorry, I did something wrong. Gil, you're not in the spotlight anymore, but I'm going to add you back at spotlight.
You can add me if you want. Yeah, you can add 2 people to the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. We're 3 people now in the spotlight. Sorry about that. And yes, so Jerilyn has a question that she put in the chat. I'm going to read it, Jerilyn, or would you like to ask it yourself? Jerilyn is from Hawaii, by the way.
Hi. Aloha. Actually, what you had answered her actually answered my question. But when listening to your answer, because I had asked about some of the goals and accomplishments in masterminds that you have experienced and max number of people, and you actually answered all of that in your previous answer to her. But I haven't experienced a mastermind, but I've noticed like there seems to be a trend for more masterminds. And from what I'm hearing from you, it sounds similar to when you join programs or when you learn things. So it's like a mastermind basically is however you want to create it to be.
It's a really good question. Before I mentioned there's thousands of these masterminds around the world, and I have an issue with a lot of them. I'll be very honest. I'm just going to put it out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is going public. 99% of those masterminds are full of shit. Excuse my language. It's not a mastermind. They don't listen to you. They talk. they're completely full of blah, blah, blah. It's not a mastermind. It's a workshop. It's not a mastermind. It's one guy who stands on stage and speaks for most of the day and gives you 2 coffee breaks. That's it. To me, a mastermind is when you get to talk to each other in a structured way. And in all of my mastermind, 50+% of time is allocated to you. Yeah, sometimes I mess up and I go a little bit more time and you only get 45% of the time. But in most of my masterminds, especially the ones we do offline, the majority of the mastermind, we're talking about 50+% of the time, is when you're sitting around the table with a curated group of people and you're following a specific algorithm of what you should be doing for the next 1 hour. You're following an algorithm of time. And when that is a mastermind, when I'm speaking on stage, I'm pre-framing you for the mastermind. I'm getting you to adjust your mindset. I'm getting you to maybe open up your heart. I'm getting you to choose to be more vulnerable. I'm giving you some hacks. I'm giving you some methodologies to get you prepared for the mastermind, because many show up in masterminds and they just want to be observers. They just listen. They don't add value. They don't ask for help. They're not vulnerable. They're not there to really make a difference, to impact. They're just there to listen and to say, hey, let's see who can make a difference in my life today. No, I don't want such people in my masterminds. I want people who are active. I want people like Jessica. She comes in, she adds value, she gives connections, she wants to serve. And she knows that whenever she's ready to ask for help, people are just going to want to make a massive difference in her life right now, because that's how we are as humans. Whether it's reciprocity, when something is given to us, we like, if someone says to you, hi, Geraldine, like, wow, such a beautiful dress. In social settings, you'll say, oh my God, I love your shirt as well. I love your earrings as well. We'll right away reply to someone. When someone helps you in a mastermind, whether you like it or not, you kind of feel in debt to them. And it's amazing that you can serve them back now. It's like, it's only been 10 minutes and you've just made a difference in my life. And 10 minutes later, I can make a big difference in your life by just saying something from my own past experience, or telling you, sharing with you something that not many people know that has changed my life. And maybe you're going through a similar situation in your life. That is where the power of masterminds really come in, where people get to exchange, people get to share, people get to be vulnerable. And it's not about the speaker talking all the time. I don't want to be the one talking all the time. I want to be the one holding space and creating a vehicle and an algorithm for you to connect with complete strangers on something that is very deep, very important, and get great results. And results could be, hey, you want to write a book and you're not sure where to start. Results could be the next 3 steps of what to take to get your book out there. Or maybe you want to hire a new CEO to help with your company. Results could be exactly the best websites or the best headhunter or the best way to take steps to hire that CEO. Maybe it's about, I have a fork in the road. I got a job and I have 2 business opportunities. How do I make a choice? Maybe the result is identify the business model canvas, spend 5 minutes with a couple of mentors and take action. Results are very much steps. Yeah, steps. Other results, people just need inspiration. People need confirmation. Sometimes you want to do something in life. You just need a few people out there to tell you, yes, it's good. We believe it. It's a great idea. Because what happens to many of us out there, entrepreneurs, it's happened to me many times. Maybe it's happened to some of you out there. When I've had crazy ideas when I was earlier, now I'm 43 years old, it's different. If someone tells me they don't like my idea, I don't really care. I'm like, okay, tell me why you don't like it, but I'm not going to allow them to disappoint me. I'm not going to allow them to discourage me. So in a mastermind format, you're basically putting yourself in a position where every single person you meet will support you. And that's really cool. Because sometimes we have people in our lives, friends and family, who know us for a long time, and they're a little bit biased to us. And maybe they want to protect us from getting hurt. And they might say, no, Geraldine, why are you doing this? You have such a comfortable job. Or why do you need to fly to Bali right now and go deeper within your clients? No, it's okay. Stay where you are right here. Right here, it's safe and good. And we're your friends and family. We'll take care of you. Everything will be okay. And then 5 years later, you're in the exact same position talking to the same people. Now, that's where masterminds come in. They bring new people into our lives in a way that allows us to connect.
Thank you. That really helps. It sounds like it's like an encouraging a lot of collaborations and bringing up whatever challenges you may have and tapping into even other people's expertise in the group and allowing them to do that, correct?
Exactly it.
Okay.
You're tapping into the collective genius.
Okay, thank you. I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gil, and thank you for your question, Jerilyn. So let me remove it from the spotlight and bring Polo on in the spotlight, Gil, because
I don't believe your family named you iPhone. That cannot be your first name.
I'm so sorry. Hi, Gil. I'm just, there's some problem in my network and I'm not able to log in from my laptop. So my name is Pallavi and I'm joining in from India.
Okay,
so I'm not able to even, my video is not working. I'm sorry. I'll just get to the question. So what I've observed is that many businesses and services and entrepreneurs, when they have their business, the last offering they have is the mastermind. Like, you know, they might have a coaching, they might have one-on-one sessions, online courses and all of it. And in that ladder, I have observed that the masterminds are the last. So, I mean, it's just my observation. Can you share some insights on that?
So I've spent about 10 years in the info business world. You know, I've worked with Tony Robbins and Eckhart Tolle, Byron Katie, and you know, Jay Abraham, the biggest people in the world for a decade. And I've worked with them in a very, very close proximity. You know, I ran masterminds with them, and I could tell you that, yes, that is the position that the world of info business takes. You go to the big conferences, you go to workshops, you go to coaching, you go to masterminds. In many cases, people have the mastermind as the most expensive program they have. It doesn't work like that with everyone. It doesn't work like that with me. I prefer individual coaching to masterminds, for example, myself, or I prefer group coaching because I can make a massive difference in your world. If I worked with you one-on-one, I can give you much faster results because I am also a coach and a mentor. So because I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, I'm married with 3 kids, I don't need to just coach you and ask you questions. I don't need to be in a mastermind format. I could just get to the point with you. And we can, you know, in a 10th of the time, we can get the result. We can already work out who you need to meet. And because of what I do for a living, if I understand what your challenge is and who you need to meet, within 24 to 48 hours, you'll meet those person and you'll get the answer. A mastermind for me is something that needs to be utilized. So have masterminds, like be in mastermind. Host masterminds. I love hosting masterminds in my home here in Bali around the table for dinner. I love it. We have like vegan, non-alcoholic dinners with like 6 other people. Usually it's like, you know, it's like 8 people with my wife and I. It's very, very powerful number. Sometimes it's all couples. Sometimes it's just any friends that want to come, and they're very powerful. We have a beautiful buffet dinner and it's structured. So there's actually a format and algorithms that are used to make it work. And for you, you know, you need to decide based on what your business model is right now. Does a mastermind need to be on the bottom? So like the most expensive thing you have or not? You can have a mastermind on the top, and you can have a mastermind that's a lot cheaper and that brings people in because it's a lot easier to see value, to gain value. And maybe you can have a private members club on the bottom. Maybe you can have individual coaching at the bottom, you know, that's the most expensive. There isn't one way that's right, but yes, if you look at generally speaking in the industry of coaching, speaking, events, you know, education, masterminds tend to be the bottom end sale, the most expensive sale out there.
Okay, yeah, a lot of insights. Thank you so much. I think I'll have to revisit the entire video and, you know, gather my my learnings. Thank you so much once again.
Sure.
Awesome. Lovely to meet you, Polo, by the way. And I've never met you, so it's a great opportunity to meet you here.
We met yesterday, Pallavi from India, Pallavi Kashyap. Not yesterday. I think there was another Zoom session yesterday with Terry. I was there.
2 days ago, absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So I just logged in from my phone. That's why.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Lovely to see you again here, Gil. So the other day we had Terry from Australia. We talked about how to make a business from your speaking engagements, like a solid business from your speaking engagement. Okay, cool. So I'm going to bring Shanti into the spotlight. Shanti, Gil, I've seen how many notes Shanti has been taking since they started talking 45 minutes ago. She's been like, her hand has been going, right? So I'm sure that she has lots and lots of questions. Let's hear.
So, hello, Gil, or should I say Apakabar? And Jessica, thank you for bringing us all together. And Gil, I've just actually been digesting, absorbing, appreciating everything you're saying. And some of the questions I had, you already answered, like the difference between a mastermind and a workshop. So I have two specific further questions, please. And one is that how could we, I'm a peace activist and I work in violence prevention and nonviolence. And how could we use masterminds to promote communal harmony? I love when you said, you know, bring people together and get them connecting. I see the potential in that as a tool for promoting harmony between groups that traditionally fight or have animosity. So I'm wondering what you think about that as a tool or something we can further develop. And the second question I have is, I hate to ask this, but I think we need to know what's the worst that could go wrong with, you know, you bring strangers together at times, and in the best possible world, they leave with bonds and, you know, meaningful bonds. But occasionally in group dynamics, you have people who want to assert themselves or have an agenda and so on. Well, what are kinds of things to watch out for and anticipate? And what's the worst that could happen?
And two great questions. I love your first one, but I'm really going to enjoy answering the second one. And so I'll start with the second one. As you're asking it, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But I'm thinking, what's the worst that's ever happened in my, and I can't really, I'm thinking online, offline events. I've been to hundreds, you know, I'm like thinking, like, did we ever have any shootings, or did we have, like, what's really the worst? So I could tell you from a position of values, what happened that I think was the worst. When early on in the days, like 6 years ago, when I was running 12-month masterminds, there was two things that I didn't allow to happen. Don't sleep with each other and don't do business with each other during the mastermind. 12 months. I said that in 12 months. If you want to sleep with each other after 12 months, go for it. If you want to do business with each other after 12 months, go for it. In the next 12 months, you don't do business with each other and no sex allowed. And there's a lot of depth to that, because what I wanted to do is teach them how to serve, teach them how to create strategic partnerships, teach them how to introduce to other people, how to make referrals, teach them just how to add value without needing to transact. Both business and sex is a transaction. Yeah. And that's the worst thing that happened in my masterminds. People broke both of those rules on multiple occasions. They're humans, you know, and it's my fault. It's my fault because I create intimacy. I create very deep trust that would usually take people years to build, and they build it within weeks. Like very deep trust because of the experiences I made them go through, and because they were following specific algorithms that I've tested, the ability for them to connect so fast, so quickly to people that they've just met created long-lasting friendship. And some people, they confuse friendship with like, oh my God, she's really hot, I'm really good looking, we're both single, okay, let's just become really good friends. The good thing is one of them got married, which was cool. They slept together. I got upset because I found out because everybody was talking about it. I confronted them. I was like, guys, come on, you know? Like I asked you one little thing, but then they actually ended up getting married. So I'm like, hey, cool. That's like magic, you know? So that's the kind of bad things that happen if people in the mastermind start taking sides and they start grouping instead of being a collective, a unit. Yeah, that's something that you want to try to kind of discourage, like people coming together and like two girls against that one girl. You know what I mean? We don't want any of that. And there's a way to see it and avoid it. With regards to your first question, it's a very powerful question. The honest answer is I don't know how to answer it because I'm not in your space. But what I would say, if I was in your space, this is what I would consider. Instead of telling them to let's come together so we can be nicer to each other, let's come together and start identifying money-making opportunities within the community. Yeah, because the world is attracted to money. And people who fight, like I'm from Israel, Yeah, and all of the neighbors of Israel, or not all of them now, these days there's a lot of peace, but many neighbors of Israel don't, they sometimes shoot rockets at Israel. What brings many of these countries together is business. It's entrepreneurs. So I would apply the exact same idea to this community and say, hey, we're going to do a business opportunity mastermind together. We want to invite different people. And what you do is you come up with an algorithm. For example, algorithms could be, I have the 1, 2, 3 algorithm. 1, 2, 3 is something that I've shared with the world. Feel free to take it. If you mention my name when you use it, that'd be great. I haven't coined it. I'm not going to ever sue you if you take it. The 1, 2, 3 mastermind is using 1, 2, or 3 minutes in algorithms within a group setting. So for example, a simple one that I use a lot is 1 minute to introduce yourself and the opportunity you have. 2 minutes for people around the group to ask you quick questions and to get quick answers, and you'd be surprised how many questions and answers you can get in 2 minutes. You'd be shocked, actually. And then you have 3 minutes to gain value from the community itself. Now you can multiply that. So that could be the 2, 4, and 6. You can use any algorithms you want to use harmony within the network. And this is where the biggest need you probably have is to make sure you have a very good facilitator and a moderator that can create harmony. And the only way to create harmony within a network is to give algorithms. Algorithms are based on numbers. Numbers are time. So time, how many people do we have in the group around us? How much time do we all have together? How much time can each person have? And how can I break that down so that everyone is equal?
Thank you so much. And you actually answered one of the questions, which is how do you keep certain personalities from dominating when you have this structure? Then, and I like that everyone gets a turn, because sometimes people are shy or there's gender dynamics, power dynamics. So this way you're creating an equal space. And this is marvelous. Can I follow up with you? I don't want to put you on the spot, but Jessica's a reference. Anyway, I see the value of this for peacemaking as well. And so this is really wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you very much.